Alright, what's up, guys? Today I'm gonna be reacting to. That was another video, by the way. You guys will see it pretty soon, but today I'm gonna be reacting to this guy who makes 87K a year as an Undertaker, and he's wildly happy. So let's dive into this.
I really don't fear death.
False. You do. Everyone does. You have to. Um. Oh yeah. By the way, my credentials are I'm a human, so I know, you know, that it's gonna happen eventually. So does this guy. Everyone does. Everyone kind of does. Yeah, obviously. But
I realize that if I'm gonna die, that's okay. Because
how?
everyone does it. Everyone does.
How do you think it's
My name is
okay
Victor M.
though?
Sweeney. I'm a licensed funeral director and mortician in Warren, Minnesota, and I make around $87,000 a year.
It's good money.
24 Funeral Home. This is Victor. How can I help you?
He does, like, I was watching Joe Bartolozzi react to him. He does just look like the guy that would do this type of job. I mean,
After a person passes away, it's up to either the family or maybe the facility where they have died to give me a call. We answer the phone 24/7. Every funeral home in the country does. The next step will be me getting myself dressed.
I feel like that would be the most difficult part about the job is like you don't stop because people are literally just dying to get in.
And showing up to the place of death with a cot. I'll go into the room, meet with the family, and then sometimes I ask them if they seem open to it, if they would like to help me transfer the body from the deathbed to my cot.
What?
We'll ascertain that, and then I head back to the funeral home.
That's
Whether
crazy.
that's 3 in the afternoon or 3 in the morning, I'll start embalming right away if that's what the family requests. The main
Dang.
goal of embalming is to sanitize the body and also preserve it.
Do you guys actually think you could do this job? Because it's like you literally have to see dead people all the time. Does it just become normal? I feel like it's hard to even see like those deer on the side of the road for me, let alone like a person would be just,
So kill the bacteria that are running wild
you know what I'm
after
saying?
death, but then also preserve the tissue so it isn't breaking down the day of the funeral and we're dealing with decomposition and smell and all other unsightly things. So I grew up in a pretty death-positive family.
What does
My
that mean?
older sister was born and died before I was born. So I grew up as a kid going to the cemetery and cleaning off Kate's grave. And then in addition to that, up until between the ages of maybe 10 and 20, we
Yeah, I
had a
hear
big
yawning.
family funeral every year. So whether it was a grandparent or an aunt or an uncle, someone close to us died. So I was exposed to a fair bit of that.
Dang,
growing
that
up.
sucks, yeah. It's not fun. Obviously, everyone knows that. It's not, death is not fun to deal with because you no longer are ever able to interact with that person. So, yeah.
I have seen a lot of lives come and go, and the old adage of you can't take it with you is terribly true. So I've really just tried to nurture just a general disinterest in wealth and making money and keeping too much of it. If I ever have much more than I need, I don't want to be too attached to it. I want to be able to give it away
I like
and
that.
not beat myself up about it.
I like that. Very humble
The kind of person that I think
man.
does best in the funeral world is one that kind of treads the middle way between maybe two extremes. On one extreme, you might have someone who is really morbid. They're really into dead bodies or really interested
See,
in death.
that's the type of person I would think would do it. Someone that's like, now I don't ever call people like weird because everyone's their own person and I don't see people as weird, but liking dead bodies, it's, it's getting there.
I don't know if that's healthy. And then on the other end of the spectrum, I've seen people struggle that are almost too empathetic, and that when they meet with a family, they're all tears, and it's hard to get business done. Going between those two things or holding them in tension is
Yeah,
really...
if you have too much empathy, I definitely think that'd be a weakness in this field because, despite empathy being good at like the sales portion, is you're able to, kind of feel out, what are these people thinking? Obviously they're upset, hopefully. And you're able to kind of, play into that and, sell whatever you got to sell, but if you're too empathetic and you feel too much of what they're feeling, then you're obviously going to be devastated every time. You can't. There's no way to go in this business, probably.
what a funeral director is called to do and ought to do if they want to be successful.
Like that's a good amount of money. I mean, okay, get this. So you work full time at Walmart as a cashier. You're getting paid 15 an hour. You're making 32 G's a year working for 40 hours a week, I think. So put that into perspective.
Maybe I make less money here, but I also have fewer expenses. Groceries are a little more
Yeah, dude.
hard to get way
There's
up here.
there's nothing going on. I hate to say that, but there's probably nothing going on in Warren, Minnesota. There's nothing going on in my area. Eh, looks the exact same.
In the hinterlands. I can't eat out very often because there is only one restaurant in town, but
You know what?
taxes
Never mind. His place is smaller.
are fairly low. My house and mortgage are
That looks like a
relatively
duplex.
inexpensive.
Does he have a kid? Do you have two kids? That's crazy. It's crazy.
You never know when someone's going to die. So it's really
I don't know why I
unpredictable.
didn't. Why?
And
I don't know why I didn't expect him to. I don't,
is an extreme challenge for my wife, who stays home and watches me run in and out and every which way all day.
yeah, I actually looked into that as well. So far, I've looked into that. It looked cool, study religion, become a priest. Um, I don't know, there was just something that just rubbed me the wrong way about it. I don't know what.
When I was in high school,
Nothing against any priests or literally anything. I just personally wouldn't want to do that.
on my way to discerning what I wanted to do with my life, what I realized is that, quite frankly, I'm too selfish to be a priest.
Right, that same.
I think I like accolades too much. In my first couple weeks at the funeral home, when I was still in high school, the boss took me into his office and he said, "Victor, I think if you're earnest about this, I think you need to go and witness an embalming." He had me watch my first embalming, which was an 18-year-old girl who died in a car crash before graduation. So the very first body that I had really hands-on experience with.
That would be horrible. What the heck? Dude. Someone like your own age? Maybe first time would be better if it's like a 90-year-old or whatever, but your own age? That's crazy, dude. It's already bad enough, you know? Oh, goodness. Your brain is so like malleable as well. It's just like, oof.
Was someone my own age. And I got to tell you, that was extremely challenging. And what I found then is that I'm kind of in a privileged position because, unlike maybe her parents, right, they can't really do much other than just accept the new and really hard reality. I was in a position where I could actually do something. So I could push the casket in and out of the church. Or now, everything that kind of happens at the funeral, from the planning of the funeral to staffing it to running the music sometimes, or even
No,
singing in the choir, in addition to
I
all the
definitely,
body work.
I definitely think that'd be like a satisfying part of it is like you set it up, it's really the last time that, these people are gonna all come together for said person who died. Um, you are the setter upper of the departing. I mean, you set it up, you communicate with the family, just get the job done. and that's it, and then they say goodbye. Um, and it being like the last chapter in someone's life, it's like that's crazy difficult. It's never going to be easy. So to be the type of person to be able to make that transition not as bad is really commendable, I'd say.
Even though it's physically demanding and mentally demanding and emotionally demanding, the fact that I get to actively do something kind of gets you through. Being in a small town like where I am, you end up knowing almost everybody who comes through the door. So
Now
if you
that
don't know
would
the deceased,
flipping
you certainly know some of their family. And that gets hard. It gets emotional at times, and that's okay.
yeah,
When you know a
obviously.
person,
Yeah.
you can write their obituary. You don't have to ask every boilerplate question because you know them.
Yeah.
It's kind of that beautiful mix. You have the hard things, but then there is just something so beautiful about the deep knowledge of the people that come through your door that is worth so much more than even the heartache that sometimes follows.
No. No. I personally think um that it's death is the worst part of the human experience without a doubt. Yeah. Um there's nothing worse. There will be nothing worse besides obviously like if you were to like suffer a bunch or whatever, but I do think like the last chapter is the worst because that's it. You're done. Like you're here to experience it now and then you're done. Like I don't get how people can accept that because I can't and I never will.
I take care of one of the cemetery maps in my town, the Catholic cemetery, and looking through the records at the cemetery and through the old records kept in Latin at the church, I found that there are 5 unmarked graves.
Zmijusz si nad nami, which is Polish for pray for us.
It's been my mission, and is going to be my mission over the next couple years, to carve and mark each of those 5 unmarked graves with the details of who's been lying there,
That's
unknown,
cool. That'd be a
kind of
fun part
forgotten,
actually.
for sometimes decades.
That'd be cool. That
This
would be
one's going to
fun.
Peter Hefta. When living memory fades, like this gentleman here has been dead since '68, and he didn't have any family, so there's probably no one alive that remembers him. If he can't
Why is
last in
this
living
like
memory,
one of the
then
most
we
viewed
should at least
parts?
mark the fact that he was here.
My life has turned out. I didn't expect it. I never expected to be a mortician, let alone a mortician in the middle of nowhere, Minnesota. I have all the things I need, some of the things I want. My wife likes me, and my kids wait for me to come home every day. I love my boss. I love what I do. To actually be of
Man, this
service
guy
and
puts
provide
like a
value
smile on
is
my face.
extremely gratifying.
Like,
I don't think I've gone home a single day since I've been up here sad.
dude, this guy just makes me happy. Like, he's just such a good, heartwarming guy, Um, he just loves what he does. He loves his family. He's a simpleton. Um, completely commendable, respectful. Um, I think a lot of people what they can take away from this is that you don't need a lot. You don't need like a ton of stuff to be happy. I think there's a lot of uh, like what's it called? There's a lot of like pressure from um, like the exterior. So you got to figure out what you want on the interior. Um, so until you do that, you're just living for other people. You don't want to do that. And everyone needs money, right? We all gotta eat. We all gotta have shelter, food, or like I said, water. But what it really comes down to is you have one view that's your own. Uh, you have one experience. At most, you get like 100 years at most, in the last like 30 or 20, I mean, it's like your things slow down, but in the, beginning, right? I'm just a young in here, but you gotta really take it all in because it ain't gonna last. Nothing is. Um, yeah. So anyway, this guy's lucky people are dying to get into his business. They're always gonna pay, right? But yeah, just find what you want to do. Don't live for other people. If you want to work at Walmart, make 32K a year, live in a apartment, maybe you get a, wife or whatever, so be it. Um, go by your life. You got one. Want to have kids, make a little bit more money, so be it. Do it. All you can do is try, because what's it gonna hurt? What's really gonna happen, right? All right, that's it from me. Until the next reaction.